you mentioned like we all put on our pants one pant leg at a time.
Right.
But are there also moments when you're on the field at that tryout when you're like, dude, I can do this better?
It's actually,
Come on, be honest. Be honest.
they're that very first tryout. You've been to tryouts, right? Like
Yeah.
you've
Mm-hmm.
seen how they go.
Yeah.
You have the skills stuff, and it almost was a realization of, okay, these are the same ground balls I've been getting. These are the same front toss pitches, so it's the same sport. So that kind of helps having the the skills before going into the inter squad stuff. But I remember my first at bat, it was against Dallas Escobedo, and I hit a double down the left field line, and I got to second base, and I had watched her win a national championship the year before on TV, and I'm standing on second base, and that was that moment where I was like, maybe I can do this, like, okay.
Yeah.
So realizing that it was the same sport, even though it was these superstar faces that I was seeing and competing against and competing with now, sitting back on knowing this is just the game that I've been playing my whole life. Like I can do this no matter where I came from.
Do you feel like those same words were kind of reinforced from your family and friends?
Absolutely. My mom and my mom's parents, so my grandparents, they're not sports people, but they obviously came to all my games and cheered and rah rah, So on that level, I don't know. I think they just rooted for me because I'm their family, But then my dad, who's the sports guy, he was really pumping me up. He went with me to tryouts, the very first tryout, because he's like, it might be the only USA experience we have, So he went with and he watched everything, and he was the one who was like, you can, like, you deserve to be here. You are worthy of being here. Go out there and show them what you can do, what we know that you can do. And that to me was, the boost I think that I needed to go out there and not be intimidated, not be afraid, to just go out and play the game I love. And fortunately it translated into making the team and being with them for a few years.
And how did it feel when you received that news that you made it?
It was, they told us individually in person, which of all the years that I was on the team and tried out for the teams, it was the only time that happened. It was all through email the later years. So I sat down with Coach Erickson and Ronnie, and Coachy, how do you think it went? And I was like, well, I think it went cool. I got some hits, made some friends. And, I'm sweating, obviously. And he casually says, well, I want to let you know that you've got a spot on the U.S. Women's National Team. And my first thing, I was like, can I give you a hug? And he was like, no, you wait. I was like, all right, be cool, Sam, be cool. It's fine. But we weren't allowed to say anything. And my dad was in the hotel. So I secretly went to my dad and I was like, hey, can you meet me in the stairwell, be all secret. And I just looked at him and I was kind of like, I made it. And we lost it. We hugged, we laughed, we cried. We couldn't believe that something that was a dream, an actual just dream, in that who knew it could be close to reality. The fact that it was happening right then and there, we were just overwhelmed with emotion. It was, I'll never forget that moment.